They decide the fate of millions and shockingly control the economy despite being strangers. These are the richest Chinese families in Michigan. Their influence shapes the auto industry, retail, and manufacturing in ways you can see and feel every day. But their names are subtly mentioned. The question is, who are these Chinese figures, and how are they behind thriving enterprises and empires? And how did their families build such wealth and influence in Michigan? Today, we uncover the stories and people behind the richest Chinese families in the state. Beyond the surface work, we dig into these key figures and their organizations, revealing how their impact runs deep in Michigan. Their wealth isn't just about money, but impact. Now, stick around to the end, because every name mentioned will surprise you. 8. Jerry Xu, Detroit Chinese Business Association. With a lifestyle built on global travel, executive suites, and seats at trade tables where deals are quietly made, Jerry Xu's world is not one of flashy cars and private jets, but of boardrooms, international delegations, and partnerships worth millions of dollars. He may not have a billionaire's bank account, but his influence is the kind that quietly reshapes economies. For many in Michigan's business community, Jerry Xu is a connector, a strategist, and a bridge between cultures. Jerry Xu stands at the helm of the Detroit Chinese Business Association, a nonprofit organization that does something few others do with consistent success. It brings Chinese companies and Michigan businesses together in ways that produce real jobs and real investment. But the question is, how did someone like Jerry Xu build such deep influence without the trappings of extreme wealth? It only gets more intriguing from here. Jerry's work is rooted in trade missions that span continents and interests that stretch across oceans. When a Chinese firm considers a new facility in the United States, they want someone who understands both markets. Jerry is often that person. He runs networking events where business leaders from Detroit and Shanghai find common ground, and he coordinates investment facilitation efforts that translate international interest into actual Michigan facilities. You might not see his name on a Forbes list, but in conference halls from Detroit to Beijing, he is widely recognized. And there's more. Through his leadership, dozens of Chinese firms have established operations in Michigan, directly supporting local jobs from entry-level manufacturing to high-skill engineering. These are not small ventures. These are businesses that create supply chain opportunities, demand for local services, and partnerships with Michigan universities. The outcome is measurable and tangible. People get hired, factories stay open, communities feel the impact. But here is a detail that will surprise you. Jerry Xu's influence extends into policy conversations and economic roundtables where decision-makers are crafting strategies for attracting international investment. Policymakers and corporate CEOs alike pay attention to what he says, because his perspective reflects real connections and outcomes, not just theory. But that isn't all. Through his work, Japan and Germany are not the only foreign nations that talk about Michigan as a reliable business partner. China, through the networks that Jerry helps maintain, now regularly features Michigan as a place worth doing business. Jobs have been saved, new ventures have been launched, investment dollars have flowed, and the Detroit Chinese Business Association remains central to much of it. Jerry Xu's story is not one of luxury mansions or billionaire yachts. Instead, it is a story that shows how influence, earned through strategy, human connection, and consistent results, can be just as powerful as personal wealth. His impact is written into Michigan's economic landscape, and every time a new foreign firm opens a plant or signs a contract, his work echoes in ways most people never see. It's time for 7. Zili Lei, Nexteer Automotive. Imagine a life where your decisions affect the wages of thousands and the future of an entire industry. Imagine guiding one of the most important players in the supply chain of global automotive manufacturing. That is the world of Zili Lei, a man whose name may not be familiar to everyone, but whose influence is woven deeply into Michigan's economy. His leadership at Nexteer Automotive places him in a rare position of responsibility and impact. It only gets more compelling from here. Zili Lei is the Chief Executive Officer of Nexteer Automotive, a major automotive supplier based in Auburn Hills, Michigan. Nexteer is not a small local player. It is a global leader in steering and motion control systems, supplying components to nearly every major automaker in the world. Under his leadership, the company's Michigan facilities hum with activity from engineers designing next-generation systems to assembly workers building precision parts every day. And the story doesn't end there. Lei's journey with Nexteer is tied to a broader narrative of international investment. Nexteer is majority-owned by Pacific Century Motors, a Chinese investment group backed by AVIC, and Zili Lei oversees this integration of global capital with local American talent. The result is a company that is competitive, innovative, and deeply rooted in Michigan's automotive identity. But how did this come to be? The influence of Zili's leadership shines brightest when you consider that his decisions help maintain and expand jobs across dozens of communities. Michigan's economy has long depended on the auto sector, and under his watch, Nexteer has not only survived turbulent market cycles, but has contributed to the vitality of local supply chains. Thousands of engineers, assembly workers, logistics professionals, and administrative staff depend on Nexteer's success for their livelihoods. And there's more. As electric vehicles become increasingly important, Nexteer, and by extension Zili Lei, is at the forefront of developing advanced steering technologies that will power the next generation of cars. This is not small-scale tinkering. This is shaping the future of personal and commercial mobility. His office may not feature the glitter of celebrity, but the stakes are just as high. But that is not all. Zili's leadership has also positioned Nexteer as a magnet for partnerships and supplier growth. Local vendors now find themselves woven into international supply chains, ensuring that Michigan remains a hub not just for assembly plants but for engineering excellence and high-value production. With every new contract and every new job created, the legacy of his leadership extends farther. With every technological shift in the automotive world, Nexteer under Zili's guidance is poised to adapt and innovate, bringing even more relevance and economic activity to Michigan. His influence today helps ensure that tomorrow's car parts are made with Michigan ingenuity and global strategy. Who will we explore next as we continue this journey through the real forces shaping Michigan's economy? 6. Hula Rang Hu, CW Bearing USA. Picture a figure who stands not in the spotlight of celebrity, but at the intersection of precision engineering, industrial productivity, and global supply chains. A person whose leadership drives the production of parts that matter every time a vehicle rolls off the line. This is the world of Hula Rang, known in many business circles as John Hu, president of CW Bearing USA. His story is a testament to how focused leadership in industrial manufacturing can create opportunity at every level. But how does a factory president influence an entire regional economy? It only gets more interesting from here. CW Bearing USA is the Northville, Michigan, offshoot of China's Xianqing Group, and under John Hu's leadership, the facility has become a key producer of precision automotive components. These bearings and related parts may sound small, but without them the entire industry grinds to a halt. In the automotive world, precision matters. A tiny flaw can lead to a major failure. This means that the work happening at CW Bearing is not just routine manufacturing. It is a critical link in the industrial chain. Hula Rang's leadership shines in the way he has integrated international standards with local Michigan expertise. Under his guidance, the Northville facility has strengthened its quality, its output, and its ability to support local automakers who demand reliability and performance. Thousands of jobs have been supported in engineering, technical roles, and assembly work. These are good jobs that help families thrive and communities grow. And there's more to this story. CW Bearing's success has ripple effects that extend far beyond the factory floor. Local suppliers find stable demand. Logistics companies find regular contracts. Service providers find consistent work. In many ways, the economic ecosystem surrounding the plant thrives because the plant itself is stable and productive. But that is not all. Hugh understands that true industrial impact requires not just production, but connection. He has worked to ensure that CW Bearing remains a respected partner to Michigan's automotive players, maintaining relationships built on mutual success rather than simple transaction. This approach pulls communities, suppliers, and workforce into a shared journey of growth and opportunity. As global supply chains shift and industries look for reliable partners, facilities like CW Bearing USA position Michigan as a place where precision engineering meets opportunity. Under Hugh's continued leadership, the company is not just manufacturing parts. It is weaving Michigan into the fabric of global automotive precision. And as we move to the next figure on our list, we continue to follow the real leaders whose actions shape the real economy. 5. Chen Zhixin, SAIC Motor. With a net worth and influence that ripple across continents, Chen Zhixin lives in a world defined not by private jets and luxury cars, but by boardrooms filled with projections, engineering charts, and the steady hum of global automotive strategy. His offices in Shanghai and at SAIC's North American Center in Birmingham, Michigan, are equipped with everything a top executive might need to manage billions in operations: high-tech conference rooms, executive suites overlooking city skylines, and access to a network of engineers and managers that spans multiple continents. Even if you do not see his lifestyle in flashy headlines, Chen Zhixin's world is one of wealth measured in influence, power, and strategic decisions that shape the automotive industry itself. Chen leads SAIC Motor, China's largest automaker, a company that produces millions of vehicles each year and has a commanding presence both domestically and internationally. The North American Center in Michigan is a strategic extension of this empire, overseeing purchasing, logistics, and engineering operations. But the question is, how did Chen Zhixin rise to become the person who now directs a web of industrial influence that touches Michigan's economy? It only gets more intriguing from here. Chen's journey is a story of methodical leadership. Through decades in the automotive sector, he has navigated complex domestic and international markets, learned the subtleties of cross-border management, and honed an ability to coordinate teams spread across time zones. In Michigan, his team works directly with local suppliers and automakers, ensuring ensuring that SAIC's vehicles meet North American standards while also leveraging cutting-edge Chinese technology. Every contract signed, every component sourced, and every collaborative engineering initiative strengthens Michigan's position in global automotive production. And there's more. Beyond the technical and operational impact, Chen Zhixin has contributed to local employment, offering opportunities for engineers, logistics experts, and project managers in the Detroit metro area. By integrating Chinese corporate strategies with Michigan talent, he has created a bridge between two economies, allowing knowledge, expertise, and innovation to flow seamlessly. The ripple effect is subtle but profound. Suppliers find stability, engineering graduates find meaningful careers, and Michigan's automotive ecosystem becomes more resilient to global market fluctuations. But that is not all. Chen's influence extends into strategic partnerships and investment planning. He does not simply oversee a single facility. He cultivates relationships with other automakers, suppliers, and even government stakeholders, ensuring that Michigan remains attractive for international automotive investment. Every decision made at his office touches multiple layers of the supply chain, creating a web of interdependent success that few outside the industry ever see. As SAIC continues to innovate and expand, Michigan engineers under Chen's oversight are being exposed to advanced technologies, design techniques, and global automotive standards that position the state as a hub for innovation, not just production. Chen Zhixin may not live a lifestyle covered in luxury magazines, but his power to influence jobs, technology, and industrial growth is a form of wealth that resonates across borders and industries. And as we move on to the next figure on our list, the story of cross-continental leadership only becomes more. 4. Zhu Huarong, Xianqing Automobile Group. Zhu Huarong's life is a study in the quiet prestige of influence, a lifestyle built not on yachts or sprawling estates, but on the authority to direct cutting-edge research, guide talented engineers, and shape vehicles that will be on roads across the globe. His assets are the companies, factories, and R&D centers under his supervision, and his currency is innovation, strategic insight, and the power to connect Michigan to the heart of China's automotive ambitions. With Xianqing Automobile Group maintaining an R&D facility in Plymouth, Michigan, Zhu Huarong ensures that local engineers and technical specialists are engaged in real-world projects, from vehicle design to prototype testing. But the question is, how did a single chairman manage to integrate Michigan engineers into international projects that influence cars sold thousands of miles away? It only gets more compelling from here. Zhu's leadership has shaped a facility that serves as a bridge between continents. The engineers in Plymouth are not just working on mechanical components. They are contributing to global automotive strategies, software integrations, and advanced vehicle safety features. Every simulation, test drive, and design iteration carries the weight of Xianqing's reputation and Zhu's vision. He has created an environment where Michigan talent is recognized as a critical piece of a much larger global puzzle. And there's more. Under Zhu Huarong, Xianqing's Michigan facility has become a training ground for innovation. Engineers gain exposure to cross-cultural workflows, international design standards, and collaborative problem-solving that enrich their careers and provide Michigan with a competitive edge. Zhu understands that knowledge transfer is as important as production. In every CAD model, every engineering blueprint, there is a transfer of expertise that strengthens the state's talent pool. But that is not all. Zhu's vision extends beyond the technical. He has encouraged a culture where Michigan staff are involved in decision-making, innovation projects, and supplier collaborations. This creates an ecosystem where creativity and operational efficiency coexist, providing local vendors and ancillary businesses with steady demand and stability. Communities benefit indirectly from jobs, supplier contracts, and the economic ripple effect of a thriving R&D facility. As Xianqing continues to expand its U.S. presence, the Plymouth engineers under Zhu Huarong's guidance are now participating in global initiatives, including electric vehicle design and emerging automotive technologies. Zhu has made sure Michigan is not just a satellite office, but a strategic hub contributing to Xianqing's worldwide operations. His story is proof that influence, expertise, and leadership are a form of wealth that shapes industries and careers alike. And as we prepare to meet the next leader on our list, Zhu's example sets the stage for understanding global impact on a local scale. 3. Xianqing Geng, Guangzhou Automobile Group Blah. Step into the world of Xianqing Geng, a man whose influence stretches from the boardrooms of China to the factories and research labs of Detroit. His life is not measured in flashy cars or private islands, but in the tangible results of corporate strategy, industrial innovation, and international collaboration. The facilities that GAC manages in Michigan are an extension of his vision, and every engineer, supplier, and project is a reflection of the power he wields. Xianqing Geng is the general manager of Guangzhou Hangzhou Automobile Group, overseeing R&D and business operations that touch the Detroit area. But the question is, how does one executive ensure that a foreign automaker is integrated into Michigan's industrial ecosystem while maintaining the company's global ambitions? It only gets more fascinating from here. Xi's leadership has allowed GAC to form partnerships with local suppliers and research institutions, ensuring that Michigan's automotive knowledge base is both utilized and strengthened. Engineers and technical staff in Detroit contribute to vehicle designs, component testing, and global strategy projects. Each initiative represents a carefully calculated integration of talent, technology, and market insight, resulting in mutual benefit for both the company and the state. And there's more. Xianqing Geng has prioritized strategic investment planning in Michigan, ensuring that facilities are equipped with advanced machinery, modern workspaces, and training programs that help engineers grow. The result is a center that produces not just vehicles and components, but innovation, jobs, and an enduring connection between Chinese and Michigan industries. But that is not all. Xi's oversight includes long-term collaborations with universities, suppliers, and government entities, which strengthens Michigan's role as a hub for international automotive research. His approach ensures that investment in Michigan is sustainable, impactful, and beneficial for both sides. Local engineers gain exposure to cutting-edge projects while suppliers receive consistent demand, creating a network of economic and technical interdependence. And you won't believe what happens next. As GAC expands its international operations, Michigan remains a vital piece of the puzzle. Projects initiated under Xianqing Geng's supervision continue to influence vehicle production standards, engineering practices, and international partnerships. His influence demonstrates that true wealth is measured not in personal luxury, but in the ability to shape industries, develop talent, and build connections that last across borders. With Xianqing Geng as a guiding force, Michigan is positioned firmly as a hub of automotive excellence. And as we move on to our next leader on the list, the stage is set for even more intriguing stories of Chinese influence in the state. 2. Lu Weiding, Wanxiang Group / Wanxiang America. Lu Weiding lives in a world where influence is currency, measured not in yachts or private jets, but in the factories, contracts, and supply chains he commands. Offices in Hangzhou and Michigan hum with the energy of production, negotiation, and strategy. His wealth is reflected in the scope of his decisions, which touch thousands of jobs, hundreds of suppliers, and entire communities. Imagine a network of industrial activities stretching from China to Michigan, all coordinated under one vision. With a family net worth built over decades, Wanxiang Group has become a global leader in automotive components. Wanxiang America, its U.S. arm, anchors Michigan's supply chain, providing critical parts for automakers while supporting local vendors. But the question is, how did Lu Weiding rise to influence such a vast network? It only gets more fascinating from here. He inherited more than a company. He inherited a legacy from Lu Guangqu, whose vision bridged Chinese manufacturing and global markets. Lu Weiding has expanded that vision, turning Michigan facilities into hubs of precision, reliability, and steady employment. Every component produced fuels local operations, from engineering teams to logistics staff, creating a quiet yet powerful ripple effect across the state. And there's more. Under his leadership, Wanxiang America invests in modern machinery, efficient production lines, and rigorous quality control. Communities around Michigan see the benefits indirectly. Suppliers gain contracts, employees support local businesses, and the state's industrial ecosystem strengthens. But that is not all. Lu Weiding ensures that as the automotive world shifts toward electric vehicles, Michigan remains central to international supply networks. His decisions help local engineers gain exposure to advanced production practices, while the state retains its relevance in a global industry. And you won't believe what happens next. With Lu guiding, Wanxiang, Michigan becomes more than a production site. It becomes a node in a worldwide network of innovation and expertise, quietly shaping the industry's future. 1. Zhu Yanfeng, Dongfeng Motor. Zhu Yanfeng lives among strategy, global networks, and partnerships that stretch across continents. His influence is not measured in villas or cars, but in supplier chains, Tier 1 partnerships, and the smooth flow of expertise from China to Michigan. Imagine the impact of every contract, collaboration, and engineering decision reaching Detroit area operations. That is Zhu's reach. But the question is, how does a Chinese executive without a standalone Michigan office influence the state so deeply? It only gets more intriguing from here. As president of Dongfeng Motor, Zhu ensures that Chinese automotive expertise benefits Michigan. Through a web of partnerships, Dongfeng integrates its components into U.S. assembly lines, creating a seamless connection between continents. Local engineers gain exposure to international standards, and suppliers are stabilized by a reliable network of global production. And there's more. Zhu supervises the integration of R&D into Michigan operations. Every engineering project, component test, and prototype represents knowledge transfer that strengthens local capacity. Michigan's workforce benefits quietly but significantly, gaining insight, skills, and access to global best practices. But that is not all. Zhu has cultivated long-term relationships with suppliers, universities, and local stakeholders, creating an ecosystem of cross-border collaboration. Communities thrive as engineers advance, suppliers expand, and industrial networks grow. Zhu ensures Michigan is not just a passive partner, but an active contributor to automotive innovation. Through strategic oversight, he transforms global vision into local impact, showing that wealth and influence can be measured in knowledge, networks, and industrial integration. His work sets the stage for the engineers and trade leaders shaping Michigan's future. What do you think about these outstanding Chinese personalities? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more. Your support means the world to us.